Good afternoon, everybody. The session that is going to start today is related with opportunities for youth in the globalized era. As you all are aware that the process of globalization has put before us several challenges. I think it is this challenge which we all have to accept and start preparing for facing this challenge and be successful. Basically, there are two aspects which you need to take into account. Number one is that creating at international level multi and cross-cultural identity, and number two, become multilingual in character so as to reach out to those people living in the remotest corners of the world. I hope the session will have very fruitful discussions and deliberations which will definitely enlighten the young youth of the state of Maharashtra and from across the country. Thank you very much.
On the occasion of National Youth Day, I would like to quote the lines of Sri Swami Vivekananda. I quote, अगर आपका कोई लक्ष्य है तो उसे जहर की तरह शरीर और आत्मा में फैला दो, लक्ष्य आपका होगा. Unquote. What we regularly encourage and consistently cultivate in our mind determines our health, character and environment. Intelligence is the capacity of thinking very clearly, objectively. Youth stage of life cycle is of pivotal significance, not only from the perspective of individual, but also in terms of national development. As youths cross the thresholds of childhood and enter into adolescence, they develop a self-identity. They strive for their own independent views, and thus, these opportunities plays a major role in building their perspective. We enter into the 21st century expecting the youth to play a significant role in the search for new principles that will bring about stability in the world order. And this can be achieved by channelizing the youth resources in the right direction. Remember, zeal without opportunities is like fire without light. And this light can be achieved through Sarvodaya. The literal meaning of Sarvodaya is the awakening of one and all in the society in every respect. And its achievements leads to global awakening, that is, globalization. In the end, I would like to conclude, अर्थ किया है, जिंदगी तो एक ख्वाब है, जिंदगी तो एक ख्वाब है, वो जिंदगी ही क्या जिसमें ख्वाब नहीं होते. हाथों की लकीरों को किस्मत ना समझना, किस्मत उनकी भी होती है जिनके हाथ नहीं होते. So youngistan मेरी जान, believe in yourself and move ahead. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Respected dignitaries on the days and off the days, and all my dear friends, a very good evening to all of you. Bright-faced, zealous-natured, never-stopping enthusiasts and the go-getters. This is perhaps the only impression that you get when you hear the name youth. Highly accepted dictionaries across the world define various meanings for this word. I mean people who are not old, aged between 60 to 35 and so on. But for me, I will define youth as you. That's right, you, my friends. Globalization actually determines the process by which regional economies, societies and cultures have become integrated through a global network of political ideas through communication, transportation and trade. 30 years before, if my father graduated as a university topper, he just would have had 2 or 3 opportunities to work. But right now, in front of me in the graduation, I have several companies, and that's what has been the effect of globalization. Friends, due to globalization, we have become a global village and a global society. And because of that, we have some social and moral responsibilities on us as well. The opportunities are plenty for us, but the efforts are needed to tap them very properly. Critically speaking, globalization is considered harmful due to danger of the foreign firms invading the Indian markets. But friends, tell me, we are the youths and we have the optimism. Can't we be competent enough to beat them and in fact be above the rest? Yes, definitely we can, because we are optimistic. दो लाइन कहना चाहूंगा, अगर आसमां को जिद है एक ही जगह बार बार बिजली गिराने की, तो हमें भी जिद है ठीक उसी जगह अपना आशियाना बनाने की. धन्यवाद. थैंक यू. जय हिंद.
Well, folks, it is a great pleasure for me to participate in this wonderful event. The topic we have today is opportunity for youth in this globalized era. Before we get into the globalized era, let's try and understand what globalization is. I define globalization as sourcing capital from where it is cheapest, sourcing human talent from where it is best available, producing where it is most cost effective, and selling where the markets are without being constrained by national boundaries. My own company, Infosys, we produce our software in India because we have the talent required available in India. We have the markets in the Western countries, in US, Europe, Japan, etc. We are listed on NASDAQ, and therefore we operate as a borderless company. What is the difference between a globalized corporation and a multinational corporation? By and large, a multinational corporation establishes a subsidiary in a country to produce and sell in that country. On the other hand, a globalized corporation produces for the entire world from a country or from a region. It sells wherever the markets are in the entire world. It lists on a stock exchange which gives it the best valuation. And it sources the required talent from wherever it is available. For a nation to succeed in this kind of paradigm, what are the requirements? One, the corporation must have leaders who can deal with multiple cultures. Second, we should strive at global benchmarking in everything that we do, because our markets are in the most advanced nation. Therefore, our productivity and quality will have to be global quality and global productivity. Our branding will have to be suited to the best markets. Our salespeople will have to learn to sell in those most competitive markets. Our designers will have to understand the aspirations of the users in the most advanced markets. Our human resources people will have to understand how to deal with various cultures. And that's what the challenge for companies like Infosys is today. We need globalization for a very important reason. One, a nation, particularly an emerging nation like India or China for that matter, does not at this point of time have a high disposable income amongst the vast majority of its population. Second, there is a large number of unemployed people in this country. Many of them have good talent. Third, there is a great demand for software or for goods in developed nations. Therefore, if we in India can indeed harness the power of our youth, of our youthful talent, then we can produce goods and services that can indeed be sold in developed markets. Our realization will be high, and therefore we can create large number of good jobs here. There is another important reason why we need globalization. About 600 million people in India are living in rural and semi-urban India. These people contribute about 22 to 23% of our GDP, which means we produce approximately about $300 billion using the services of these 600 million Indians, which means that the per capita revenue productivity of these people is about $500 a year or $40 a month, which means approximately about $1.30 or about 55 rupees to 60 rupees a day. This kind of salary, this kind of revenue cannot make both ends meet. If we want to bring up the access to to education, to healthcare, to shelter and to nutrition for these people, we have to move these people slowly from agriculture to low-tech manufacturing or low-tech services, because these people by and large are either illiterate or semi-literate. We are adding 15 million youngsters to the job market every year, and we are not generating these 15 million jobs. Therefore, we have to perforce depend on exports. Our contribution to exports is approximately about 16 to 17% of our gross domestic product. If therefore we have to take this 16% to perhaps 30% to 35% like China has done, so that we can add an additional $400 billion, thereby improving the earning capacity of these people by 100 to 150%. That is a big challenge that you and I have. And the way we can do this is to make sure that foreign corporations, globalized corporations from different nations come and set up factories here, come and set up low-tech manufacturing factories here in India, so that our youngsters who are from rural India, who are not well educated, have an opportunity. And that is where I think it becomes extremely important that our government becomes welcoming to this foreign direct investment, our government reduces friction for these people to come and set up easy factories in India, to create large number of jobs and make India an export base. And therefore, we in India have an extraordinary opportunity to enhance our exports to global markets by having global level quality, global level productivity, global level customer service, etc., etc. And that is where I believe our youth have tremendous opportunity in this globalized era. And that is where you and I, the governments, both at the federal level and the state level, our politicians, our bureaucrats, our academicians, all of us have to come together to create a plan whereby India becomes the most favored nation for setting up huge factories so that our youngsters can indeed get good jobs with good disposable income. I think that in essence is the opportunity for our youth in globalized era.
Do you think, sir, the huge salaries and a lot of facilities given by corporate sector has created self-centric youth working in MNC, and it is one of the major factors in causing economic and cultural divide in India versus Bharat?
Well, I think that is a good question. That is a good concern. I am glad a youngster is worried about India versus Bharat. But India can become Ramarajya. India can become a prosperous country. India can redeem the pledge of Mahatma Gandhi and other founding fathers of wiping the tears of the eyes of the poorest of the poor only by converting everybody from Bharat to India. If you mean by India a prosperous part of Bharat, I don't mean that we should all become English. That's not what I mean. All that I mean is we have to convert every poor child into a child that is reasonably well-to-do, a child that has access to basic education, basic health care, basic nutrition and basic shelter. And that is going to happen only through creation of jobs with good disposable income. And that can only happen